friends. I am so excited to be coming to you today with a new little mini series that I'm going to be doing through video format. So I want to talk to you about correction and what it means to give correction and what it means to receive correction. And let's be honest, correction isn't something we do very well these days. You see it all over social media, people trying to give what they would determine is correction, but what is often received as judgment or somebody trying to tell you that you're wrong. And it immediately puts our backs up when somebody tries to point out how wrong we are. I think we can do this differently. I think we can learn how to give correction in a loving way and receive correction in the way that it is intended, which is to point us in the right direction. And I think that we can begin to do this and change how it's done everywhere in all of our circles of influence, whether it's done one-on-one, whether it's done through social media, in our families and our relationships around the dinner table. I believe that we can learn how to give and receive correction in a way that honors the other person and honors the Lord most importantly. So a while back, I posted a encouraging word on Facebook. And if you're not a part of the At the Picket Fence Facebook community, I would love to have you come join me over there. It is such a fun place to be. I share everything from recipes to crafts to home decor to funny little stories, and my most favorite thing, which is to share encouraging words and maybe a Bible verse here and there. I love to see the responses to that, and it fosters such great community there. So hop over and make sure you like our At the Picket Fence page on Facebook. But what I did was I shared a word from my heart, and I shared a Bible verse to go with it. And a little while later, I hopped back on to see what some of the responses were. And one of our lovely At the Picket Fence readers very gently said to me, I don't think that that particular verse matches what you're saying. I think it actually means something else. And I'm going to be honest with you. My initial response was, how dare you question what I shared from my heart, because it's my heart and I know what's true about my heart. And I was going to just brush this off and consider her wrong. But in the back of my mind, I had this nagging, and I kept thinking, what if she's right? What if she's right? What if I'm wrong? So I decided to open my Bible back up, and I looked through that particular passage again. And what I discovered was that I was wrong and she was right. I had misinterpreted that particular passage of scripture from the Bible. And it wasn't anything dramatic. It wasn't anything that was earth-shattering or was gonna, send people down, a moral rabbit hole. But it was enough to cause me to pause and think, I was wrong. And if I had not listened to her, and if I had not put to the test her correction, I might have missed this opportunity. And maybe I would be causing people to go down a different path. So I want to talk to you and for us to have a dialogue about what it means to give correction in a way that is healthy, in a way that builds up instead of tears down, and how to receive correction in a way that is healthy, in a way that helps us to grow and become stronger people, and how that can take place around our dinner table, at a coffee shop, in our conversations with people, and even on social media. So we're going to talk about that in the coming weeks. We're going to talk about how to give correction and how to receive correction. And today, what I want to just say really quickly is that giving and receiving correction in a way that honors another person and honors the Lord all comes down to two character qualities. It comes down to pride, and it comes down to humility. And I want to have you read this quote about pride and what pride is. Pride is not just a sin, but a sinful mother, a sinful orientation that gives birth to more sins. For example, pride can lead to lying. You tell a lie because you are too proud to admit you were wrong or you did something wrong. But the problem is so much bigger. Pride doesn't just tell lies, it is a lie. Why? Pride is self-obsession. Pride is preoccupation with ourselves. Therefore, it is a lie about reality. It says, I am worth thinking about all the time. It is an orientation that wrongly assumes that everything revolves around us. Lie about reality. And when it comes to giving and receiving correction, we have to examine our hearts to realize whether or not we're speaking from a place of pride, whether we are speaking because we're self-obsessed and we want to be proven right. And when we're receiving correction, we have to receive it through the filter of, am I prideful about this? Am I thinking so many thoughts about myself that I am not able to receive this in the way that it was intended? And so we have to start by recognizing what pride is. And it's so important for us to understand what true humility is. C.S. Lewis said, true humility is not thinking less of ourselves, but thinking of ourselves less. We can spend a lot of time thinking less of ourselves, but we only end up thinking a lot about ourselves. The problem of pride does not boil down to whether we think high thoughts or low thoughts about ourselves, but that we think lots of thoughts about ourselves. Humility is fundamentally a form of self-forgetfulness as opposed to pride's self-fixation. Humility can set you free because when you think about yourself less, you are free to think about Christ more. Humility puts us on the path of grace. Pride puts us on the path of opposition. God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. So when it comes to giving and receiving correction, we have to accept a posture of humility. What it really boils down to is that giving correction should be hard. Correcting somebody, whether it's their behavior or their words or whatever, correcting somebody should be hard. It should not come easily to us if we're doing it right. And receiving correction is hard. We need to humble ourselves and be open enough to realize that we're not always right. And maybe we need to examine some of our thoughts about things to realize that we may need to change or set a new course. So next time we meet, we're going to be talking about how to give correction. And I'm going to be teaching you some steps that you can take to give correction in a way that honors the Lord, honors the other person. And yes, it's hard, but I believe it can be done from a place of humility. And hopefully, the person who receives it can receive it from a place of humility. And we're going to talk about that too. I'm going to offer you some steps for how to receive correction in a humble way. So I'm so excited for you to join me on this journey together. I think we can revolutionize the way that we give and receive correction to other people. And I'm excited to see how God's going to use that in our circles of influence. So stay tuned for the next episode. This is only a 3-part series. It's not going to be super long, but I hope you'll stick with me, and I can't wait to hear from you. Until then, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for meeting me at the picket fence.